And speaking of $1 million Bitcoin price predictions, now let's break down our featured story of the day. I actually have a couple of different analysts who agree the Bitcoin is likely trending towards $1 million per coin off of the back of the BlackRock ETF approval in the United States. So again, shout out to Robbie P, and for all of you guys contributing. You can see the shout outs live on the screen. Definitely makes me smile. So thank you, fam. Much love, much respect. So yeah, let's dive into now our breaking story of the day and discuss this big price prediction for the King Crypto. Now we have this crypto analyst. He pointed out that the Bitcoin market cap climbed rapidly following the fake news recently of the Spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Now, recall that on Monday, media outlet Cointelegraph made a post on X saying the US SEC approved the BlackRock iShares Spot Bitcoin ETF filing. And immediately following this, the price of Bitcoin surged above 30,000, literally climbing over 2,500 bucks in price action in a matter of minutes. And over 50 billion was added to the crypto market caps. And as he points out, going by Bitcoin's reaction to this news, which eventually turned out to be fake, the analyst was able to draw a parallel for what might happen when spot Bitcoin ETFs are approved for real. That's right, quoting him here on crypto Twitter. Main takeaway of the day, Bitcoin's market cap went up by more than $50 billion. Wow, in minutes. And very likely the money flowing into Bitcoin was less than 500 million with a ratio of 100 to 1. Shout out to Bring Facts. I appreciate the doobie dough super chat contribution, and shout out to Passive Income with AI. I appreciate the super chat contribution. You guys are amazing. Continuing with the analysts, a former BlackRock director said we can expect 150 to $200 billion flowing into Bitcoin within 3 years after the Bitcoin ETFs are approved. Now, keeping this same ratio with $200 billion, we would have a market cap of 21 trillion. So the Bitcoin price would be $1 million per coin. Now, surely on the way up, there will be many people selling, but this is already directionally clear how much could be the effect of the Bitcoin ETFs being approved. And someone chimed in, if you wanted to say 21 trillions, you need 21 trillions. Miracles don't exist. The analyst responded, no way. You don't understand how the capital markets work. We absolutely don't need $21 trillion to have a market cap of 21 trillion. Again, you don't understand how the market works. And he also asked, do you really think that today in a few minutes there were 50 billion flowing into Bitcoin? And I think the analyst makes a great point. Now, here's another analyst by the name of Invest Answers. Shout out to Invest Answers in his YouTube channel. He says that spot Bitcoin ETFs can send the Bitcoin price skyrocketing by over 3,200%. I'm going to be sharing his timeline right here because he's ultimately calling for $1 million Bitcoin price. But back to the other analyst, he's ultimately projecting this $1 million price target within the next 3 years, which is an important detail I don't want to leave out. So actually, let me scroll down to the nitty gritty here. About when this might happen, the analyst reverts to Larry Fink's statement when Fink made his forecast that 150 to 200 billion could flow into Bitcoin. He said this could happen over a 3-year period. So hypothetically, if a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved in 2024, which they're saying there's now over a 90% chance of this happening, as Bloomberg analysts believe, then the price of Bitcoin can reach this $1 million mark in 2027 to 2028 if it goes as planned. Quoting him again, surely on the way up, there will be many people selling, but this is already directionally clear how many could be the effect of the Bitcoin ETF being approved. I agree with the analyst. Obviously, I am very bullish, major catalyst incoming, but back to Invest Answers with his projection of Bitcoin soaring over 3,200% off the back of this ETF as well. So here we go. Invest Answers predicts the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF triggering massive inflows from the Wall Street giants. He shares with his 500,000 subs that Fidelity Investments, Charles Schwab, Citadel, Deutsche Bank, BlackRock, Nomura, and Franklin Templeton collectively have $25.22 trillion in assets under management. That's a serious amount of capital. I mean, the numbers don't lie. You can see Fidelity with $4.5 trillion. And in yesterday's episode, I shared a $1 billion price prediction coming from senior analysts over at Fidelity. Charles Schwab, wow, I didn't know they had that much. They actually have $7 trillion. That makes Charles Schwab the second largest asset manager in the world, and Fidelity being the third, with the first clearly being BlackRock with roughly $10 trillion in assets under management. So according to the analysts, if the 7 Wall Street firms allocated just a percentage point, 1% of their total assets under management to the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the first year after the April 2024 Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin can surge by approximately 3,200% from the current levels in less than half a decade. Quoting him here, if the Wall Street giants allocate 0.5% of assets under management that many believe they will probably do very easily, that's right, I'm anticipating more like 2 to 5% when they start dipping their toes in the water. And eventually, over time, it could be 10%, 20%, 50%, and like Ricardo Salinas, above 50% of his total portfolio. And especially with the connections of pension funds, etc., that need some type of alpha to dig their pension funds out of the hole, or else they're just going to go backward and become defunct. This is the assumption that 0.5% of assets under management goes into the first year from April 2024 all the way up. And if this happens just for that first year, the demand will spike for the price of Bitcoin by April 2028. And considering there will be another halving and around that time as well, as that's 4 years after 2024, right, fam? And again, assuming that just 0.5% allocation happens within the first year and another 0.5% in the second year, etc., which I would consider conservative, wouldn't you? That will take us to the price of $920,000 per Bitcoin in the year 2028. Now, what would happen hypothetically if they decided to do like 1 whole percentage point of their assets under management the first year and the second year? Then we can double that number, and we're talking about like $1.8 million per Bitcoin. So send it and let's freaking go. And when the Wall Street giants can start buying Bitcoin, should spot Bitcoin ETFs get the green light? The analyst says. And one of the senior execs over at BlackRock said they will get that spot ETF in the next 3 to 6 months. And as I've said, it has to be before the halving. BlackRock doesn't want to come in after the halving. They know that's when the fireworks go off. Preach. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Invest Answers, and to watch this video he did on Unstoppable Bitcoin Demand and Trio of Bull 2028 prediction, check the show notes below the video in the description. But it doesn't stop there. I got more predictions for you, fam. Here's what Max Kaiser had to share when we just hit an all-time high hash rate of 440 quintillion exahashes per second. Max shared that the implied hash rate adjusted price at 440 quintillion exahashes per second is $340,000 per coin. So let me know if you agree. He's basically saying the true value right now of Bitcoin is $340,000, not this $30,000 nonsense, which means you have an opportunity to stack sats at an extreme discount right now. And also, here is another prediction. This one is coming from podcaster Steven Livera. He wrote, or not wrote, but he was recently interviewed by Kitco News. Here's what he shared. It is quite possible, in my view, the Bitcoin comes close to the range of gold, and that would imply a price in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. Now, as is tradition in this industry, we will probably hit that as a blow off top and then drop another 80%. And then they asked him, so are you projecting 500,000 per Bitcoin? And he responded, I think it could happen in 2025. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst that we can potentially see a $500,000 to $1 million Bitcoin price within the next 2 years. Holla at your boy in that live chat.